It is, without a doubt, in my opinion, the best job in the world. I absolutely love it.
Stephen Minutillo's family has been crayfishing for generations. His grandfather was a pioneer of the live export market.
Some Japanese buyers said to his boss at the time, if you can put them on a plane and get them to us live, we'll pay you quite a lot more. And he racked his brains and thought about it it was all trial and error for, I think it was a few months it took him to get it. Went to the library, got a book and realised that before anaesthetic they used to dunk humans into really cold water. So he thought he'd try that with lobster, and that, through a lot of trial and error, that's how he realised that he could keep them alive. So it's 5 degrees, comes out, they get packed. Cray fisherman Mr Tony Vinci has helped develop the new multi-million-dollar potential export market for WA seafood.
Rock lobsters became a lucrative industry, and the biggest money spinner was China.
It was the most lucrative market for us. China is made up of many markets, so each province is almost a market in itself. China can take all of our supply and they pay twice as much as the next market.
According to industry figures, up until 2020, more than 90% of Australian rock lobster was being sent to China, but it all came to a screeching halt.
Chinese state media is reporting an import suspension.
From time to time, there'll be differences of views about those issues, and we'll seek to progress them in a very constructive way.
The straw that broke the camel's back was Australia's call for an independent international inquiry into the origins of coronavirus.
The lobster industry was one of the biggest casualties from China's trade freeze. From a peak of $713 million in 2018, the gross value of Australian rock lobster dropped to $461 million in 2021. WA produces the lion's share.
The trade ban has effectively halved the income to our fishers, and so that has flow-on effects also to their families, because quite often a boat will support 2 or 3 families with fathers and sons working that boat and bringing in the product every day.
That's my father, John, and that's my uncle. We were selling pretty much 99% to China, maybe 98%, something like that, but that's unfortunate when politics get in the way of fishing.
A cautious optimism has been building in the industry following meetings between Beijing and Canberra last year, and more recently a visit by a senior Chinese diplomat to a major WA lobster exporter lifted hopes. Now confirmation of a long-awaited meeting.
Next week I have organised to speak with my Chinese counterpart virtually to start the ball rolling and to get these trade impediments lifted.
It will be the first time the ministers responsible for trade have met in more than 3 years.
There's been about $20 billion worth of trade that's been affected. Lobsters, of course, are an important one. The wine industry has been very badly affected. Meat, barley, coal, all of those products have been badly affected by these impediments.
One of the places hit hardest by the trade ban is the fishing town of Cervantes, north of Perth. The rock lobster industry makes up more than half of the town's economy.
This town was essentially built off the back of the crayfishing industry, more from a little fishing village into what we know today as the town. Between the processing plant and the boats, the only other industry here is tourism. This town would be nothing like it is now without the crayfishing industry.
It's the busiest time of year at the Cervantes Lobster Shack. They're catching as many crays as ever. The problem is finding where to send them.
So if we were standing here in 2019, how much of this stock would have been going to China?
I would probably say the majority, 80% plus. This has been the toughest few years that I've seen in this game. Everything's going up and the price of lobsters is going down. You can't just rely on one market.
Finding new markets at home and abroad has been crucial. Industry data reports state that since 2020, Australia's exports to other regions like Hong Kong and Taiwan have shot up dramatically. That's fuelled speculation of a so-called grey trade, with Taiwanese media recently reporting Australian lobsters are being smuggled into China.
I have read those reports, but under no circumstances does the Australian government support any of our products being smuggled into any country.
We just send it to a destination, and what happens there, that's yeah, there are rumours, but we don't really buy into too much of it.
While news of an imminent trade meeting will boost the hopes of some fishers, the peak industry body in WA isn't holding its breath.
Expectation creates disappointment. We are just getting on with catching lobster and exporting it. The issues that confront us are out of our control. It's a political problem, it's a political solution.
We ride the ups and downs. We're in a trough at the moment, and we'll just keep on working through and employing people and making the best out of what it is.